Coaches are posting more than ever, but inbound leads are rarer than ever before, and that is not a coincidence. After working with 80 coaches in different capacities in 2025, I am here to tell you that posting and doing more in your business is not going to take you to the next level. And frankly, it's probably not even going to keep you at the current level for much longer, because the current reality in the online coaching space is that it is getting more difficult. It is a more saturated market. There are more and more people creating content every single day, and the pool of people who want your coaching services is not growing as quickly as the pool of people who are creating content and delivering coaching services. So the market is getting more and more saturated. And if you've been in the game a while, you'll have felt this, right? Over the last year or two, you'll have felt that your content is just not bringing in leads as much anymore. Your sales have maybe slowed down or dried up. You may have had to revert to sending more DMs and doing more follow-ups and chasing and being more manual and putting in more work and more graft to actually get clients into your business. You might find that content gets likes and views and saves and shares, and people might perceive it as valuable and they might enjoy engaging with you, but it's not really growing your business relative to the amount of work that you're putting in. You feel like your business should be growing faster, and it's just not. And that is the reality for, honestly, the majority of the coaching space, because most people are making a fundamental big mistake when it comes to their content. And that is how they actually think about content and the purpose and the role of content. Now, content is not a sales system. Like, content is not a system. It's not something that you can reliably use to take people from cold to client, right? Not the type of content you're thinking of, at least, right? So most coaches are creating short form content on one or multiple platforms. So it's Instagram, it's LinkedIn, it's probably reposting through to Facebook, you're maybe reposting to TikTok, but you're creating this short form content. And what content does is content gathers attention at the kind of top of the funnel. It gets eyeballs from people who don't know you, or people who do know you but you want them to know you a little bit better. But content needs to direct people somewhere. It can't simply exist and not be part of a bigger system and strategy if you want to grow your business. So if you're showing up on social media creating content all of the time, but that content doesn't actually drive into a sales system, you're going to get attention, you're going to get likes, you're going to get views, but you're not actually going to get sales, and you're not going to grow your business, because the job of content is not to be a sales system. The job of content is to get attention. It's also to pre-sell people, but it's just a lot slower, right? Like, if you have somebody who consumes your short form content versus somebody who consumes a longer form piece of content, or someone who's on an email list, or someone who watches your VSL, if you've got a VSL video, like, these are all things that can build know, like, and trust really, really fast. Somebody might have to watch you for 6 months to build know, like, and trust on short form platforms like Instagram, but on a longer form platform or in a sales system, they can build that know, like, and trust over the course of a week, right? So the sales cycle is just the length of time it takes from somebody to be a cold stranger to become a long-term raving client, or not even a long-term raving fan client, but just joining your program, and then from there they can become like long-term clients. But the sales cycle from stranger to giving you money and coming into your coaching business, that can be months and years if you're fully reliant on short form content. And that's the reality for most coaches. And the problem with that is that, like, if you're relying on that and it takes months and years to actually convert the people who are watching your stuff, number one, your business is probably going to go under by the time you convert enough people, right? Because you just can't keep up with the rate that you need to keep up to grow the business, because people are just too slow to actually go through this whole process and convert. And then on the flip side, there are people like my clients who are building sales systems that are taking people off the market. They're getting attention, but as soon as they get attention, they're putting that attention into a sales system where the content exists at the top of this funnel. And funnel sounds complicated, but funnel is just when you put water into a jug, at the top of the funnel, it's very wide, and at the bottom of the funnel, it's very narrow. So a funnel is really just, attention. At the top, you get a lot of attention with content. The bottom of the funnel is a sales call for most people where, you've got one person and, you don't have 100 people on a sales call. Top of the funnel, you might have 100 people viewing your video. Bottom of the funnel, you have one person on a sales call. And that is a funnel. So a funnel doesn't have to be anything complex or techie or anything like that. It's just a simple kind of visual model for like how people enter your world. But your content will be top of funnel. So your content is like this wide reaching, attention grabbing, audience engaging piece of the business, but the money is down here, right? Attention is up here, but the money is down here at the sales, the point of sale, right? And that's usually a sales call, or potentially it's a DM sale or a document sale or a sales page or whatever. For most of you watching this video, it's probably going to be a sales call. But if you were just spending all of your time up here and you don't have anything in the middle of the funnel, which is basically where you pre-sell people and where you market to them and get them to realize that you are the person to solve their problem. And of course, you're not going to end up with anything at the bottom of the funnel. So content only exists to support the rest of the funnel. And if you don't have a sales system that is doing all of the heavy lifting for you in the middle, and you're just creating content, you're just getting attention and then losing that attention again. And you're either losing that attention because people watch your video, but they're also watching 50 other people, so why would they choose you over the other 50? Or they're watching your video and they like you, but then one of my clients comes along and puts them into a simple sales process. They click one link on my client's page, they go through, they watch a video sales letter which explains everything that my client does, shows all my best case studies or client results from my client's standpoint, then makes them an offer to join a program or jump on a call. It then hits them with an automated follow-up sequence of emails and again, all of their best results. And like in the meantime, you're off creating another reel while all of that is happening in, the sleep cycle of my client. As my client is asleep, this stuff is happening. And then, your reels are going to take 6 months to actually convert this person, whereas my client might have converted this person in a week or 10 days. And you're still trying to create content that markets to this person, but this person is now gone and working with another coach. And this is it's becoming more and more important because, 4 or 5 years ago, you could just post content and get clients. You could just create an ad and get clients. It was easy, right? You didn't need any business skills. But now you actually need business skills. You need to actually understand how to get clients, how to sell clients, how to close clients, right? You need to get attention. You need to market and pre-sell that attention on your way of doing things and why you are the best coach for them. And then you need to actually close it off with a sale at the bottom of the funnel. And most coaches are just posting and they have no understanding of the strategy or system that they're running. Like they don't have one. Or they've got one, but it's not actually aligned with how business works. So if you are posting content right now, by the way, if this is interesting, click the link in my bio because I break this stuff down every single day in my emails, and you can probably tell I love this. I'm excited by this. But if you do not understand where your attention is going, if you do not have a simple process, then you're going to just get completely run over in the next couple of years because, and I see a lot of coaches and they have like 5 links in their bio. And that is like, if I see you with 5 links in your bio, that is just such a red flag that like, you don't know what your funnel looks like. You don't actually know where you want to send people. And most coaches are, they might be creating content on multiple platforms and they're all individual, right? They've got a TikTok, they've got an Instagram, they've maybe got a YouTube. They're creating content on all of these platforms. They're getting attention on all of these platforms, and then they're not doing anything with any of it. So they're losing thousands every single month in potential sales because people see them once and then don't know where to go next, or don't know how to go deeper, or don't want to go deeper because they've only seen them in a surface level piece of content and they've seen them alongside 50 other creators today. So it's really, really important that you make sure to drive your content viewers somewhere that can convert them into clients, that can market to them, that can show them all of your best results. And you need to have a simple sales process in place. And this is why your content is not generating leads and sales for your business. This is why your DMs feel dry, because the goal of content is not the sales process. It is the top of the sales process. It is a small piece of the sales process, but you're missing all of the most important parts at the bottom of the funnel before you turn people into clients.